Hey guys, it's your Mind Performance Coach Chase. Alright, so one of the questions that I get often is all about procrastination. Now, when I think about procrastination, I kind of think about myself. Is that bad? Well, I say that because I have been known to be a procrastinator. And so even as a procrastinator myself, I have wanted to figure out how I could change that about myself. So I did some research because that's what I do. And I came up with a few things. And let's first explore what procrastination is. Okay, it's the act of replacing high priority actions with tasks of lower priority, or doing something from which one derives enjoyment and thus putting off important tasks to do later. So yes, I have my computer right here just in case you are wondering why I am looking this way. But it says to voluntarily delay an intended course of action despite expecting to be worse off for the delay. I think I read it correctly. So basically that means that you are putting off tasks. Yeah, you are putting off things that you're supposed to do because of some other thing. I mean, the thing could be fear. It could be perfectionism, as in you don't want to start because maybe you feel like you're not at the perfect stage or it's not exactly the right moment. And so we subconsciously put things off because we're like, well, if I wait, then I could probably get something else done better or something like that. And so this is just one of the things that we do. So one of the things that we have to observe when we're thinking about procrastination, and you have to kind of figure out where you are in this balance and act of procrastination. Okay, first of all, reasons that you're putting it off. You have to kind of define, why are you putting off this big thing or this little thing or the thing that you probably just really don't want to do, or that it's not fun or it's not exciting, or is, whatever your reasons. Why are you putting it off? And then the next thing is, what excuses are you using to cover that thing up with? So that is like, if you can get those two down, your reasons and then your excuses, then we can start to see where we can define each of those things and start making them a top priority. A lot of people don't do that, and so that therefore they're always constantly dealing with procrastination. It is one of the things that I do want to, I say, cure. I don't know if that's the right way, but I really want to stop being a procrastinator. And so a lot of the things that I talk to you all about is things that I have struggled with or still kind of struggle with. And I need the reassurance as well as giving you all the information. And so I am definitely one of those people that recognize that when I'm not doing the things that I say that I want to do. And so they do have a few things that we could, look into. One of the things is, under those reasons, they have like a little chart. You couldn't say that. Say that 3 times. Okay, so you're just not there. You're not focused. And I did a video about being focused. Sometimes you have to eliminate distractions. And so the next thing on here is you blame external factors. Maybe I don't have everything together, or maybe the person didn't send the email, or maybe I can't get started because I don't have that, or whatever your external, the things that's out there that you use, to blame the reason why you're not doing what you are supposed to do. And then, let's just be honest, I just mentioned the word distractions. We have them. Especially if you have a home business or something like that, because you're constantly trying to prioritize the things that you have to do for work and then also home. And so sometimes, you could say, well, I'll do that later. And then you might need that thing later. And so that is one of the things that we have to really look into. Or you just, pretend that, it's not that important at that time. And it's a mind thing, and this is why, as your mind performance coach, I'm trying to get you to be different in your thinking. Everything derives from thought. And so even when we procrastinate, it's because subconsciously in our minds we're saying that either we have time or it's not important, or whatever it is that you have your reasons for not doing something that you want to do. And so a couple of the things that we would have to look into is really your reasoning, because we reason with everything in our lives. Should I do that? Let me think. I could do this, or I could do that, or maybe if I go back at it this way. So we do a lot of reasoning in our minds when it comes to doing anything. Should I go to the store today? And if I go to the store, will I, so we're constantly doing this thing inside our head that can prolong the things that we need to do. And so procrastination is one of those things where you're excessively thinking about something that you could be doing, but instead of doing it, actually physically getting up and doing it, you keep it in your head, and it just keep going round and round in your mind. And so there's really no quick fix to procrastination. I'm going to be honest with you. It is developing consistency and new habits. It's prioritizing, making sure that you know what is the most important thing that you need to do at that very moment. And so it's really something that you have to do, and there are things that you could do. You could list the things that are important, obviously, prioritize them of importance. If it's work, you could make a column just for work, and then something for home if that's what you're kind of like, I don't want to do it because it's a lot to do. It's just like cleaning out your garage. Just say for instance, you don't really want to do it because it's not fun and it's not, but it has to be done. Especially say if you want to fit both of your cars in the garage, or if you want to, make more room for other stuff that you want to do, or if you want to put up shelves or whatever, you have to move and rearrange stuff. So my point is that if you don't make it a top priority to do it, then you're going to put it off. And then you'll just make excuses. Remember? Excuses. Reasoning. Excuses. Yeah. You'll start to develop the excuses. Well, I could do it next week. But one of the things that you can do to help with this is, like I just said, make a list. List the goals that you want to accomplish. And it all comes back to full circle. If you procrastinate in your goals, you'll never get them accomplished. Period. You won't, because goals are plans. And so if you slack on the goal, which is the thing that you want to do, if you procrastinate and you make up all these excuses on why you can't do it, then you're never going to do it. It's just like losing weight. I mean, if you say, I want to lose 10 pounds by, in say 2 months, and week 3 go by and you haven't done anything yet, and you didn't even start small, then you're probably not going to make your goal. And so we have to get out of that thinking. We have to somehow in our minds relay the message that it's important to finish what we start. It is important to complete it all the way through. It's important, and I can't tell you what's important for you, but I can tell you to make the list of priorities for work and home. And then, or your health. It's so many categories. We have, different things in our lives, and we want to work on certain things in our lives that we may feel that is lacking. So I say that because it might be something that you personally need to work on, but you might just need to start slow. And so I was having this conversation with my dad, and I thought about something, and I said, well, it's funny that we're not consistent. People generally aren't consistent, which is really sad, because that is the only way. Well, I'll say this. Let me put a disclaimer out there. We're consistent in the thing that we enjoy doing. We're, if it's sitting around watching TV, we're consistent with that. We're consistent with reading if you're an avid reader. You're consistent in the thing that you really like, the habit that you've already developed and you love it. But when it's time to make that change, when we try to, go to the other side, we typically need encouragement. We need someone to kind of help us be accountable for what it is that we want to do. And so I say that because I just believe that coaching, and I know I am a coach, so this might sound biased, but I do think like when I need to do something, I like to be encouraged. I like to be motivated. I like for someone to inspire me. And sometimes I have to do it myself because maybe you don't have anyone that you could, kind of go to, unless it's a friend or somebody that is consistent with helping you with that. But first of all, like, our consistency levels be really low, especially, like I said, if it's a challenge, but the thing is, you're going to hear me say this probably frequently, probably more than you probably want to hear me say this, is that we really do need to start with micro, mini goals. It's a term that I came up with because I could look at my goals and see, right? Because, that's just how sometimes we, especially if we're big dreamers and we see the big thing and we want that. But then we start to go, oh, so how do I get that? And so it becomes like, oh. So what I have developed with myself is to set micro mini goals. So yeah, look at the big goal and then think of all the little things that would have to come, to get to the big goal. And so that is also something that will help you become consistent and develop a new habit. Now, I am a firm believer. I know we're talking about procrastination because it falls right in line with this. Because if you slack off, even at the smallest stage, it's okay. Because we're not, sometimes we slack. I mean, it's not the best qualities that we have in the human race, but it's what happens. And so if you have a coach or someone to kind of keep you on your toes, like, look, I'll check in with you, twice a week to kind of see where you're going with this, this mini goal that you have, or the first 3 mini goals, or 3 mini goals. And so, it's the thing that kind of ties it all together, if you will. So I don't know. I just think that what procrastination is, it's all about priorities. And we have to kind of figure out what our reasons are and what our excuses are. And then we have to set a plan, those micro mini goals, to be consistent in each thing. And so that's all I have to say, guys. And I hope that this was helpful to you all. It's a question that comes to me quite frequently about procrastinate. How do I get rid of procrastination? Well, it's not an easy fix. But it is something that we have to be consistent in developing small little steps to get to where we want to go. And to know within ourselves that we can do it. And so I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And I will have another video out very, very soon. Talk to you later.